guys. Welcome to what I am referring to as an experiment. This is, I'm gonna be titling this the Matt Movies podcast. This is just gonna be me talking. I don't know how long this is gonna run. If you guys like this, maybe this is something I'll do more often. Excuse my voice or if I sneeze. I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but on this first inaugural episode of the Matt Movies podcast, I'm going to be talking about the film Spider Man Homecoming. Of course, to talk about the film in full detail, you're going to have seen the film, so I'm going to give you the 5 count on spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have now entered spoilers. Alright, so again, this is unscripted, and this is me literally just talking to a computer screen right now about my feelings on Spider-Man Homecoming. Um, if you follow Take 3 Productions on YouTube, which if you are subscribed to this channel, you should really be subscribed there. That's where I'm putting a lot of my work effort on YouTube right now, which is why I haven't been uploading to this channel right now. You will have seen on the most recent episode of the live show we do every Friday. Um, I was a very medium fan of this movie. I'm not gonna go right ahead and say that I hated the film in any sort of capacity because I didn't. I actually ended up recommending the film, which is, yeah, I recommend this movie to people. If you have not seen Homecoming, please go out and see Homecoming. But I do have some problems with the movie. Now, let me start this off by saying these problems come less from a film making standpoint and from a film viewing standpoint, and more so from a Spider-Man fan standpoint. I am I have been a huge Spider-Man fan for a long time since I was pretty young. He's right under Superman and Batman as my favorite superhero of all time. I have seen every film there has been on Spider-Man. I have watched basically every TV show, even the 70s live action series. I have read multiple iterations of the comics, so I am very well versed in Spider-Man. Now, because of this, as like going to a Superman movie or a Batman movie, I bring a lot with me that is kind of difficult to leave at the door. And now I know there are several fans who are actually able to have all this baggage of knowledge and just leave at the door and enjoy the movie as a fan. And if you can do that, oh my god, good for you. You're going to enjoy a lot more of these comic book movies. Um, when it comes to Spider-Man, I wasn't able to Homecoming. I wasn't able to do that. I have no idea why, but I the biggest problem I had was Uncle Ben not being mentioned. The movie lacks an emotional core to me. The main story is him trying to prove to Iron Man that he is worthy to be a new member of the Avengers, which is a fine story, but it doesn't feel Spider-Man enough to be. Uh, it doesn't feel worthy enough to be a Spider-Man story to me. I don't know. It's really difficult to sort of put my full opinions, but the thing about Spider-Man is this is a hero that, like Batman, is born out of a tragedy. Batman witnessed his parents being murdered in front of him and decided he never wanted that to happen to anyone else again, so using his money and the skills he acquired, he becomes Batman. Spider-Man is a different thing. If we're going by the original Amazing Fantasy story, Spider-Man is a character who was bullied in high school, got bit by a spider, and found he had these superpowers, and he decided to go to this wrestling fight to test them out. And because of that, he became a sensation. He got very famous, and he also got very cocky and didn't really care about a lot. And there's a moment when he's coming home from a TV appearance, Then he has an opportune moment to stop a thief, but nah, he decides not to because it's not my problem, only to come home a couple nights later to find that his Uncle Ben had been murdered. When he goes after the man, he sees that it is the guy that just a couple nights ago he could have stopped. And that's what Spider-Man is. Spider-Man, that is where with great power comes great responsibility, is built from. He has this great power, therefore he has a great responsibility with it. This Spider-Man has the great power, but the responsibility is kind of like, eh. Oh God, it's like I'm really not trying to be a jerk. And if you completely disagree with me on this, that's fine. If you want to go into the comment section of the video and disagree with me, cool. Just don't be a troll about it, because I'll probably delete your comments because I don't need to see trollish comments. Art is subjective. Films are art, therefore we can have differing opinions on it. These are my differing opinions on Homecoming. The lack of an emotional arc, or not even an emotional arc, just an emotional center didn't work for me, even though Spider-Man is literally emotion. It'd be like not having Uncle Ben being mentioned. It's me. Now, I did not want another origin story. I thought the origin story of it in Spider-Man was great. I thought the Amazing Spider-Man one was good for that movie. But this one, I thought, okay, fine. We don't need the whole he gets bit by the spider, blah, blah, blah. But you still need to mention it. It's kind of like how when Batman v Superman, the Waynes are still around. The death of them still, even though Ben Affleck is an older Bruce Wayne, still has an effect on the guy because that's important stuff to him. It'd be like, and I've heard people say that, hey, we've seen the origin story in 2 movies, therefore we don't need it again. So you're saying that if they do another Superman movie, they should never mention the Kents, they should never mention Krypton because, hey, you're starting the Chris Reeves and Man of Steel. Oh, Batman v Superman. They shouldn't have even mentioned the Waynes because we just had it in the Dark Knight trilogy and we had it in Batman Forever and Batman '89. We don't need it. I mean, that's like saying, like, in the Daredevil and Netflix series, you don't need to talk about Matt Murdock's father or the toxic materials that he gets blinded by because, hey, the Ben Affleck movie already talked about it. Like, this is important stuff to these characters. Now, if you disagree with me, that is perfectly fine. I'm fine with you disagreeing with me on this, and people have. But it still annoys me. Because this is the whole thing Spider-Man is built from, is literally emotion. This is a character that has a terrible, like, superhero life. Let's not forget, and I'm spoiling the comics right here, and possibly some of the movies, but this is a guy who not only his uncle is killed because he didn't stop, he had a chance to stop guy. This is also the guy who is not able to save his girlfriend's father, who then ends up dying. His girlfriend, who doesn't know he's Spider-Man, gets Kingpin to go after him because of this, and then she ends up either being killed by his mortal enemy or he actually ends up killing her. And that's just a couple of the stories that Spider-Man has been through, okay? The dude is constantly getting knocked down in life, okay? Constantly. And this Spider-Man just didn't have that. Now, let me talk about Tom Holland's performance is very, very good. I'm gonna say he is probably the best high school Peter Parker we've had. Then again, that's not saying much because Tobey Maguire and everyone in the movie always looked like they were like in their late 20s, early 30s. They never looked like high school students. And Garfield always felt like even when he was in high school, he was playing college Peter Parker, which I was kind of fine with. So this is, yes, this is the best high school Peter Parker. Spider-Man, on the other hand, and again, just personal preference, I still prefer Garfield and Maguire's versions of Spider-Man. But hey, that's just me. Then again, I also, and again, this is total opinion, but I feel like some people are drinking the Kool-Aid on Tom Holland. And they've been doing this since Civil War. I remember people saying after Civil War, this is the best Spider-Man ever. This is the definitive version of Spider-Man. Lest we forget, in Civil War, not counting the post-credit scene, he has two scenes. One of which he is mostly CG'd and he is playing with a lot of the other heroes. So it wasn't like he was really carrying anything in that movie. So at least in this one, if he is your favorite Spider-Man, more power to you. Have a favorite Spider-Man. Okay, if you don't think any of the Spider-Man are good, fine. If your favorite Spider-Man is one of the anime ones, that's awesome. But I don't know. Aunt May, I thought Marissa Tomei was fine as Aunt May. The hot jokes with her really kind of got old to me. Like, I got why they did it because Aunt May in the comics, for those of you who don't know, is usually supposed to be in, like, very elder lady. And so the fact that we have kind of, like, a younger Aunt May and so she's hot, I guess. But it's like, the first time they made the joke, I laughed. But then after that, I was like, oh, this is like her thing. Oh, okay, I guess that's fine, but I mean, the ending of the movie when she finds out he's Spider-Man was really funny. I'm actually really interested to see where they go forward with this storyline because in the comics, when she finds out that he's Spider-Man, it's kind of a big deal. Um, but semantics. I guess, you know, I I give the movie a positive rating. I would probably give it a B. Which if you've never watched my reviews, a B is my lowest positive grading for a film. Um, you know, I still think it's good, but um, yeah, I just have problems with it. I mean, if I had to rank the Spider-Man movies right now, it would be Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, made Spider-Man 2, and then Spider-Man 3. Oh my god, you put Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the top 5. Well, there's only 6 movies, but yeah. Yeah, I still think Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man from 2002 are just, those are the best Spider-Man movies to me. Um, this is just not there. Michael Keaton is fantastic in the movie, but the action is lacking in this movie. It's it's really just not impressive at all. To me, like there wasn't a action sequence that I walked away with, like the high school fight in Amazing Spider-Man or the battle in the, I guess, is it a warehouse or abandoned building from Spider-Man 2, or the train sequence from Spider-Man 3, or even the crane scene from Spider-Man 3, or the fight at the electrical plant in Spider-Man Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, there wasn't a sequence. I guess the elevator sequence was kind of that, but even then it wasn't that great. Um Again, I recommend this movie to people. This is me. This is therapy for me. This is me just babbling on about my true and honest feelings about Spider-Man Homecoming, which is, it's a fine film. It just, to me, doesn't stack up to a lot of the other Spider-Man movies we have. And you know what? That's fine. This movie had a difficult job. It had to not only establish the status quo for this Spider-Man, but also establish the status quo for Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, unlike the Garfield and Maguire Spider-Man, which were swinging around New York City as the only superheroes, this time he's got some other heroes in the world, and so it was interesting. But yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, I think it's a really good movie. I think people who are not as huge Spider-Man fans as I am are really going to like this movie. And you know what? More power to you. Don't let me stop you from liking a movie. But if you're more along my lines, don't be afraid to say you don't like a popular movie. It's fine. I like a lot of movies that are popular. I like Batman v Superman. I like Suicide Squad. I like the Star Wars prequels. I like the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Apparently, those are up there too. So don't be afraid to say you like movies that people hate. Um, so I feel like I've rambled on long enough. What are your opinions on Spider-Man: Homecoming? Put them in the comments section. Let's have a conversation about this. Also, let me know if this is something you would like to see me do more often. Let me know if you would like me to cover news topics or something else. Or cover other movies. This is a test run. So thank you guys for listening. Click like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.